marbles and incredible material. But I felt that wanting to have outdoor pieces, outdoor finished sculpture, I had to go to a harder material. Eventually, when we talk about going to Dakota Mahogany.
Sure. How did you get from the salt and pepper to the Dakota?
I spent a number of years working with salt and pepper, which was both Whidbey Island, off the coast of Vancouver, and Cascade Granite. And I ran into huge stumbling blocks. I had no guidance when it came to polishing. And made many, many errors because I had been working on my own with no guidance. And finally, I exhausted the supply, most of the supply of the salt and pepper granite. The rest of it now lies out in the forest in bone piles. Bone piles where you put your excess material. And I said somehow or other, I got a hold of 2 small blocks of Dakota Mahogany. That's a granite that comes from southeast South Dakota. And I carved these blocks, much denser, much more, currently, much more to my liking. And I thought, okay, I've now done these 2 blocks that were about size, and I decided to step in a little bit bigger scale. And I formed a working relationship with the quarry, and I ordered 8 or 9 8-foot by 4-foot by 5-foot blocks. And each one of those weighed anywhere from 12,000 pounds to 25,000. And with the block that's out there with the air hoses thrown over the top of it, that's the heaviest stone I've ever worked. That was 25,000 pounds. And this was an incredible period in carving these. My wife had just died from cancer. And meanwhile, I had ordered these blocks. They were on their way here by semi. The semi could bring 2 blocks at a time. So you can imagine how these blocks that had to come 1,200 miles, 2 per load. It was quite an ordeal. Why I went to granite was there's a little bit of a macho side of me that wanted to work on something hard and tough. And that had no there's so much to say that
It didn't disappoint you as being hard to work with, did it?
the other thing, there's another major reason for going to a hard stone was that I took a look at myself in the mirror and said, if I don't get busy and start working on this granite, will it ever happen? Will I go the next 10 years and say, okay, I'll put this off for another year? And this was a serious concern, thinking, okay, when I reach a certain age, if I haven't done this project, and that is working on these 7 8-foot blocks, if I had not started those and finished them as a singular project, then would I look back and say, I'm a failure because I let this slide through, and here I am 10 years older, and then 10 years after that. I knew beforehand, if I don't do that, I'm going to look at myself as a failure. It was adamant. I was adamant at working on this project, and I'm not going to go into why I chose that project. For me, it's a mythical, it has to do with a mythical family that I was interested in. So that was the paramount reason for my going to granite. Secondly, it was much more of an outdoor stone than marble is, and I tested it. I had test blocks of granite, test blocks of marble, to see over the years how they each fared under similar circumstances. And I knew, okay, I'm perfectly happy doing marble on a light scale. And if I wanted to have an indoor piece, you will see in my building out there, first of all, I don't carve stone in here. This is for storage, as you can see. I'm a pack rat when it comes to storing stone, collecting stone and steel, and anything that looks interesting.